All-Star Week. We're wearing the same clothes as yesterday, YouTube viewers. Don't read into it. All-Star Week was cool. You're listening to this the day after the All-Star game. Congrats to the AL/NL on winning the game. But we are going to pitch to you in this episode. I broke bones a little bit. Some of our ideas to maybe make All-Star Week a little bit better. We're sure maybe it was a fun week. If something bad happened, it was not a fun week. But we think we can make this week even better. That's coming up on Locked On Blue Jays.
You are Locked On Blue Jays, your daily Toronto Blue Jays podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
So Locked On Blue Jays. Thanks so much for making us your first listen every day, especially on this Wednesday. He's Matt Bonaparte. I'm Ben Shulman. This episode is brought to you by our friends at Blue Nile. Make your moment sparkle with jewelry from BlueNile.com, and Locked On Sports listeners get $50 off purchases of $500 or more. This podcast exclusive includes engagement. Use code Locked On at checkout. Bones, All-Star Week's cool. We enjoy it, right? It's a cool week.
Yeah,
but
very nice.
I think we can make it better. So what we're going to do here, in between some advertisements, is we are going to each back and forth pitch ideas for what we think could make All-Star Week better. I got two. You got one. Are you ready to go, Mr. Bones?
Yes, sir.
And I want you potentially to shoot down my ideas if you don't like them, by the way. I want to talk them
That's such
out.
a dumb idea, Ben. Why would you even say that? That was me practicing for what's going to happen in about 30 seconds.
Sad, but a good transition to thanking you for making us your first listen on this Wednesday. You can catch us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Odyssey, Stitcher, YouTube, Locked On Blue Jays on YouTube, Twitter, at Locked On Jays, and our email. Give the people the ticker they want and know and love. LockedOnBlueJaysReal@gmail.com. We're getting more emails. I mean, we are. You know what we haven't done in a while, too? Can you give me a subscriber check for a second?
You have 105.
105. The
So
road
the
to
exact same we were at in a while.
We're not telling the people that. Funny thing, so for all our loyal listeners, we said we had a couple in the pocket, and honestly, we thought that we could kind of maneuver our way into the 100th subscriber if we needed to, and then you just did it for us anyway. So thanks to you guys. And thanks to everyone who's following us on Twitter. We're on the road to 1,000 on Twitter. We're on the road to 200 on YouTube.
Let me get your thoughts real quick on this new lower third I just made. You like that better than this? What's better?
I like both at once. I like what you're doing. For all our audio-only listeners, we both have a scrolling ticker saying email us, lockedonbluejaysreal@gmail.com. Oh, boy. I got a lot to explain to the audio listener. We have a little bit of a lower third, or for people who didn't do TV at all. Oh, my gosh, Bones is messing with the YouTube video. There's like an email us little box above the ticker. Bones briefly put Brett Cecil's face for, this is All-Star break, and we're recording this in advance. So unless you listened to our episode 2 weeks ago, you're confused.
Oh, I just thought of a great game. I just thought of a fantastic game, Ben.
Let's hear it.
I just thought of such a good game. Okay, it's a great game. Now, I will say that it will be a little bit tough if you're not a YouTube listener. Like, it's totally towards YouTube listeners. It's
Okay.
I'll take a player's profile picture, like their baseball reference picture, and I'll put it on the screen, and you have to tell me which Blue Jay that is.
I like that.
Can you
game.
identify a Blue Jay by their picture? What's funny about this, by the way, is I just looked at
I think
Mark
I could,
Zepchinski
Yeah.
because I wanted to use him. But like when you look him up, he does not come up. He's not the first thing that comes up on Google Images. It's like some other guy named Mark Zepchinski, which I think is
That
insane.
other Zap, it's that other Zap. I like that idea. I do think the people are waiting for us to get into our All-Star break ideas, though.
Yeah, sorry. I went on a tangent. Go ahead.
No, I like it. We'll workshop it, and we'll get it to you soon. But for now, it's time for us to do our ideas. I'm going to start with mine. So I think one of the great things about a lot of other sports, including the infamous, horrific Pro Bowl league, is the skills competition. And baseball has a little bit of that with the home run derby, but I think we can add more skills. And the one I want is, I think, the most exciting skill in baseball. What do people think are some of the most exciting plays? Stolen bases, extra base hits that I'm not counting homers, like doubles and triples. I want speed. And I think it would potentially give an opportunity to some guys who aren't all-stars to participate in All-Star Week, kind of like in the NHL, where maybe you'll have a guy participate in the slap shot challenge, something like that, who might not be an all-star. So what I have is the fastest runner competition. I want to see who the fastest guys are in Major League Baseball. My idea is you pick two guys. Now, you do this maybe in multiple races that culminate. Maybe you pick a top 8 and you quarter semifinal. You put one guy on home, because I don't want this to just be a dead sprint. This ain't the Olympics, and we don't care about that. One guy on home, one guy on second base, and they're running at the same time, and you have to return to where you are. So it adds a baseball element because it's a little bit about angles and base running, but at the same time, it's also just about who are the fastest guys, and can we see, okay, we think this guy on my team's really fast, and we think this guy on my team's really fast. Now we get to find out who's the best at running the bases. What do you think?
No, I think that's good. It's also very that's what I did in my childhood playing baseball. Like at practice, that's what we would do. So I'd love to watch play. I think they'd have fun with that, which is something that I think is more important than people give credit. I want the players it'll be way more fun if the players are actually enjoying it.
If they have fun, we have fun.
Exactly, totally. So I like that idea. That's totally good. I kind of thought of one.
Okay, can I ask?
No, go ahead. Yeah.
If you were to pick two guys to debut it, who are the two guys you want to see race the most?
Oh, it's tough. Honestly, probably a guy like J-Rod, because he's so young and new and he's fast. I don't really know who leads the league in stolen bases right now. It was 4. I was gonna say John Birdie, but John Birdie doesn't exactly electrify me.
Yeah.
No, I'd probably say Tim LeCastro or something.
Here's who I need. Is Tim LeCastro in the majors? He's not.
He's hurt.
I don't think he's in the majors when he's healthy, but that's my opinion.
He is. Take it from me, a guy who would know.
The Yankees are putting Tilo on their roster.
He's important. He's got speed. He was hurt.
My to be in there, and I am a little surprised you didn't mention this guy. I need Trey Turner in that competition. He's got to be.
Yeah, Trey Turner, obviously. Yeah, I should have said that too.
I think Mookie should be there.
Definitely not in the majors. No, Mookie's not that fast.
Billy Hamilton is back in the majors. That would be fun.
He's not his heyday is so behind him though. I want younger guys like Bobby Witt Jr. I'd love to see him. He's technically the fastest guy in baseball according to MLB Savant.
Really?
Trey Turner's right behind him. Trey Turner's behind him by 1/10 of a second. In terms of sprint speed, Bobby Witt Jr. 30 feet per second. Trey Turner 30.5 feet per second. Trey Turner 30.4. Then Jose Siri of the Astros, Jorge Mateo. Oh, O'Neal Cruz. How cool would that be? That guy's
O'Neal Cruz would be sick. That would be sick.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Here's one more follow-up I have for you. Would you be interested in taking universally slow guys and racing them?
Dude, yes, of course I am.
Yeah,
Rowdy Tellez versus Dan Vogelbach, 100%.
I mean, that's the exact race I cooked up. G-Man versus Alejandro Kirk. There's so many.
I'm going to the bottom of the list now. I would pay money to watch Yadier Molina versus Albert Pujols.
I mean, does Albert make it around the bases in one?
I don't know, dude. I think he would get hurt, honestly.
I think he blows a tire. Yeah, I was gonna say. I don't think he gets hurt, but I think he blows a tire 2/3 of the way in. He rounds 2 bases and then he just bang.
Yeah,
slips.
I'm trying to look for the youngest guy. Oh God. So at the bottom of the sprint speed list, it's a lot of old guys. Martin Maldonado's 35, Yasmani Grandal 33, Pujols and Molina near 40, Pujols 42. Miguel Cabrera's 39, and then 29 years old, Daniel Vogelbach, not much faster.
I can't believe he's
So,
not the slowest guy.
Alejandro Kirk 23 is not far above them. Alejandro Kirk, though, according to this list, faster than Giancarlo Stanton, which I believe.
Yeah, Giancarlo Stanton's got one of those bodies where like it's not good for running. You know,
He's
it's
slow
good for
as
like
everything,
swinging,
dude.
but it's not good for running. Do you want to present your idea now, or like I'm not in love with my third idea, so we can do that a little bit later in the show?
I have two really quick ones. Like I have one that kind of goes off of this.
Well, one of your ideas is coming up in our next block.
Yeah. All right. Go ahead. Read the ad.
Okay. Bones is revealing his idea. I'm very interested to hear what it is. But before that, I'm interested in getting some fine jewelry for a special someone. And that's why I'm going to go to Blue Nile, your one-stop shop for wedding and fine jewelry. If you're looking for fine jewelry, but you might be having some trouble choosing, Blue Nile has jewelry experts on hand 24/7. That's all the time for those of you who don't know the saying. Available via phone or chat to help you find a memorable gift at every budget. You want to get the nice thing for him or her. We want you to get the nice thing for him or her. Him or her wants you to get them a nice thing. So what I need you to do is make your moments sparkle with jewelry from BlueNile.com. And Locked On Sports listeners get $50 off purchases of $500 or more. This podcast exclusive includes engagement. Use code Locked On. That's code Locked On. Plus, every order is insured, ships free, and arrives in discreet packaging that won't give away what's inside. Shop stress-free and find your forever piece. Go to BlueNile.com today.
All right. I have three like quick ones that I think could make up this block. Yeah.
Okay.
The first one,
if you want.
What? What'd you say?
You can save one for the next segment if you want.
No, I think it's good. My first one is I want to see a throwing competition, like an outfielder's throwing competition, but also a catcher's pop time competition. Those are two. So, like, I'd love to watch like Aaron Judge, Mike Trout, Bryce Harper, Byron Buxton.
Mike Trout ain't got
What'd you say?
Mike Trout's
arm
have a
good arm.
He's got a mediocre arm. Look at Savant, but I'm pretty sure eye test tells me he's got a mediocre. But I know you're saying I think you're missing on more right fielders. I think you need more right fielders involved in the game.
Honestly, I'm on Savant right now. This is a hard statistic to find.
They might not track it.
Yeah, I don't know if they do. But I would love to watch that. Like, just watch guys just like, how far can you throw the ball? You're in the corner of the outfield. How far can you throw the baseball?
So are you doing like right field to third, or you're literally like?
Yeah, I guess I do right field to third.
Because if we're just saying how far can you throw it, I almost want to put them at home, and it's kind of like a home run derby, but arms.
Like Trevor Bauer style.
Yeah,
launches it over the center field fence.
Just launching balls over the fence.
See, I don't know, that gets a little bit like erratic. You have to counter in some kind of precision. Like they have to hit the third baseman or something. Like a couple of years ago, I would have said like put Yasiel Puig in this.
Of course,
he would have been fantastic. But I think like it's Judge. Think of some other names. Help me.
I will say outfield arms not as good as they used to be. Let's be honest.
True, like you don't have guys like Jeff Francoeur in the game anymore.
Again, like a couple of years ago, I would have put Yoenis Cespedes in this competition for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Ramon Laureano. Ramon Laureano
is a good one. You're right. That's a good one.
I'd love to see something like that. And then in terms of catcher's pop time, like I'd love to see like JT Realmuto go up against whoever else. Yeah, I mean, like
Gabby Moreno would be at that. He's got pop time.
Yeah, he'd be fantastic. Yeah, so like that's something I'd really like to see.
I almost think for your like precision thing, kind of like how the NFL like throws at targets, like maybe you start them at home and you put a bunch of targets in the outfield, or you start them in the outfield and you put a bunch of targets in the infield. And it's like you said, it's more about precision, but maybe you have to hit it on the fly, like you can't bounce it or something like that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's like every bounce is like points off or something.
Yeah. I like it though. I think hardest throw too is interesting. Like maybe not the same capacity as yours, but just like getting guys to just launch balls at like a screen and seeing, because that's NHL. I know you're not a huge hockey guy. NHL does the hardest slap shot. You just go and you just launch a slap shot as hard as you can at a net, and you're like, whoa, 6'9" Zdeno Chara can shoot 110 miles per hour, and you just kind of get to see how hard the hardest guys can throw.
they have on Savant, they do have pop time. The top 5 are JT Realmuto, Jorge Alfaro, Sean Murphy, Adley Rutschman, and the number 5 is Gabby Moreno. So like,
Right. I didn't even
you
know
get
if he
those 5 guys. You get those 5 guys, and you just give them like 5 tries each. Who has the best pop time? Like, I think that'd be sick.
Shout out to the young studs, 2 rooks in the top 5.
Yeah, and then you could also like have the fastest guys steal against them and see if they can get them.
That's where Billy Hamilton.
They got Manfred. You got to hire us, dude. We are a
I know.
freaking idea factory.
What else? You said you got 3. Let's hear it.
Yes, I do have my third one. The third one I am stealing from the KBL or the KBO, excuse me, the Korean Baseball League. They do the bunt up, which is kind of like curling in a way, where they put out like a big target and you have to bunt and try and get it in the middle of the target. I think that would be incredible.
I think it would too. So I got to ask you a question. We used to do this when I played baseball as a kid. Like, not exactly like this, but you would take like cones and section off in like, okay, it's 5 points if you put it like in between the down the line cones, 3 points if you put it, slightly more off the line, 1 if you put it slightly more off, and then if you bunt it straight in the middle, it's no points. So I'm totally into this. I used to love playing that game.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
You smirked.
We never got to do that.
What you looking at? You smirked in the middle there.
I just got a hilarious text. Yeah, you exposing me.
Read it for the list.
Can't do that. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, we never did that when I was playing, but I think it's a fantastic idea.
I wonder, how do we know who to select? I don't know who the best bunter.
Yeah, I think you'd have to ask coaches. Like, I bet you Joey Gallo would be good at that. He'd find something he's actually good at, because that guy bunts like more than the average player. I bet you Cedric Mullins is fantastic at that.
I don't know who the best
made a career off of bunting.
Who do you think the best Blue Jay bunter is? Who do you think the best Blue Jay bunter is? I have no idea.
Don't worry. Maybe a pitcher that used to play in the NL or something. I don't know.
Gotta be bunt a pitcher, like, right?
Maybe I bet you it's like Machine.
It's definitely Bradley Zimmer. It's absolutely Bradley Zimmer. Now that you said it, it's stuck in my head forever.
We'll have to ask John Schneider.
I think it's another thing. Oh, well, yeah. Context for people, we are recording this the day the managerial change got made. We have not yet seen John Schneider manage a game as we were doing this. So tune into our episode a week ago. But again, I think that subscribes to the let's let the players have fun, because the more they have fun, we're going to have fun. And I do legitimately think the bunting competition would be fun for players.
Yeah, I think that'd be cool. Also, like, it's cool to watch the Korean League do it. So, like, if you haven't seen that, I urge you to go watch. It's pretty cool.
Did you said you had 3? Did you say all 3? I thought I only heard 2.
No, pop time and throwing competition count as 2 different ones.
Pop time. Okay. Yeah, I have your ideas. I mean, I think both of us with our first 2, my third one will be different, so stick with us. But both of us in our first 2 are kind of yearning for like some sort of skills competition. I think that would be cool.
Yeah, totally. All right, let me read this ad, and then we'll get to your third idea. BetOnline.net is your number one source for all your betting needs and sports info. Find all of the latest sports developments, league reviews, and news, including this year's NHL playoffs, which already happened, and Major League Baseball. BetOnline is your continued source for all your sporting wagering information, including live betting, esports, and scores. And BetOnline.net remains the best spot for all your sports scores, podcasts, and news this season. BetOnline.net is the fastest and easiest way to check in on all your favorite sports and events, including MMA, boxing, and golf. Head to the website today or use your mobile device to learn more about the trends in action. BetOnline, where the game starts.
Oh, double click. For our audio listeners, we messed up a little there. Okay. Final idea for you. Again, stealing from other sports, because while I professed in yesterday's episode that I think the Major League Baseball All-Star Game is the best, I do think other sports have done better in everything else. Kind of like something like the rookie-sophomore game that goes on in the NBA. there are a lot of cool young players, and it's baseball, and they're just not good enough to be all-stars yet, to be honest, but they're still really good. I know we have the futures game. I get that. That's minor league players. I want to see the best. I don't know where I would cap it at. I'm not necessarily sure it'll be rookie, sophomore, like first and second year, but I want to see like maybe 3 years and below. If you're in your first 3 years in the majors and you're one of the best players, and then again, granted, I want you to be like younger than 27 probably, because some guys come up late and are good. I think it would be cool to showcase just the best young talent that the game has. I think especially in this era of baseball, while there are a ton of young players that are making the All-Star game outright, like a Vladimir Guerrero Jr., there's just more young talent than there's ever been because guys are getting called up at younger ages. I want Bobby Witt Jr. to be showcased. I know that he struggled at times here. I want other guys to be showcased. And I think that we should dedicate some sort. I wrote down in my notes, and I don't know if I stand by it. This was a couple of days ago. It might not even have to be a full-length game. Maybe it's a slightly shorter than full-length game, like a 7-inning game or something like that. But something to just be like, hey, here's what's coming. These guys are cool. This is, if, we're talking 2022, here's your 2027 All-Stars, or here's your 2026 All-Stars. And they're all playing right now. And I think it just adds a wrinkle to everyone for like knowing some of the young studs. Because I even think there are young studs around the league that maybe you and I know them by name, but we're really not paying attention to because they're on like, I don't know, pick or choose, like the Marlins or something. So we're just not paying attention to them. But they should be showcased because they're the future of the game.
Yeah, I like that idea. I thought of an idea while you were talking.
Give it.
That doesn't go exactly like that, but showcases the younger side of the game, but more of the minor league side of things. I think they should take one guy in the minor leagues and add him to the home run derby.
So this is like, I'm thinking slam dunk competition. Derek Jones Jr. was basically a G leaguer.
Yeah, kind of like that. So you take whoever the biggest slugger in AAA is, and you throw him in the home run derby, and say he wins. How crazy would that be?
You don't even need to take a minor leaguer necessarily. Like I saw a guy this year at the time for the Lake County Captains, which is a Guardians affiliate. He's now in AA. I don't know what their AA affiliate is. Kenzie Noel, who is just like a brick S house. Like this guy's huge. And he hits dingers, and he's already on the Cleveland 40 man. Like he's a guy who I think people should watch. He's awesome. He's like next Stanton. So I like that. I mean, as a pro minor league guy, I definitely think that would be cool to bring someone in and just see like, hey, can he shock the world? It's a home run derby at the end of the day. I do think a good enough guy legitimately would have a chance to win it.
Yeah, so do I. Like, especially a guy who's just like a pure slugger, like could come in and just hit nukes. Like, I think that would be sick. So also like it's kind of like Leitner on the Dream Team-esque, where it's like you kind of get a taste of what it's like to be an all-star. Like you get exposure. Like think about like if that happened like 4 years ago, it would have been Vladdy, right? He would have been the guy added to the home run derby.
Yeah,
like there was so much hype around him.
Yeah.
So much hype around him before he came up to the majors. That would have been so cool. And like even the hype would have grown even higher if he came up and just hit a bunch of tanks. Like, and it would have just been a cool experience for them to be able to go to the home run derby and like just get some exposure like that. And kind of just show a side of minor league baseball and grow the game that way. So I think that'd be a great idea. That's fantastic for me.
I like you hyping yourself up.
Gotta hype yourself up these days.
I'm always in Bones' corner. Yeah, no, I like that. I think the main thing that we should continue to do as a Major League Baseball community is talk more about minor league baseball and the prospects coming up, because it's actually really exciting and it's more accessible to watch them than ever. So I definitely think that, they're doing their MILB, MLB.TV game of the week, which the Fort Wayne Tin Caps and Robert Hassel III have featured on a couple times. But yeah, I think there's more intrigue in the minor leagues and prospects than ever because it's easier to watch. So I like that. And also, if you're interested in prospects, well, you should probably check out Locked On MLB Prospects with host Lindsey Crosby, who's a prospect encyclopedia. Bones, encyclopedia is spelled two different ways. You know this, right?
Sure.
So are you an AE guy or just an E guy when it's encyclopedia?
What?
So it's like not the first E.
Who spells it the other way?
Snooty people. I'm spelling I'm butchering this close. Encyclopedia is spelled ENCYCLOPEDIA, but some people do LOPAEDIA.
No. I'm not about that. It's just the E.
You're not an encyclopedia, man.
No, that's dumb. I'm
Well,
sorry.
Lindsey Crosby is an encyclopedia, a prospect encyclopedia, and he's going deep on the MLB stars of tomorrow. It's free and available wherever you get your podcast, as is ours. We appreciate you making us your first listen during this All-Star break. We got more All-Star break content coming up before this Red Sox series approaching. But for now, he's Matt Bonaparte. I'm Ben Shulman, and we will see you tomorrow.